Right. Okay, the final album then is
Nothing Clever, Just Feelings by CLT DRP, which is it Clip Drip or Clip Drop?
It's Clip Drip. So
Drip.
if you listen to their debut album Without the Eyes, the first track it explains that in the first couple of seconds. It says it's pronounced Clip Drip in like electronic sort of voice, I think. So there's no doubt.
there's no doubt. So in my notes here, I've written due to be released on the 8th of September 2023. It is now the 29th of January 2024, so it's well and truly out. So that was released on Ven Records. So Nothing Clever, Just Feelings, as Sned said there, is the follow-up to the band's critically lauded 2020 debut album, Without the Eyes. The band themselves are a Brighton-based feminist electro-punk trio. In 2022, the band were hailed as one of the most abrasive, inventive new outfits in the UK, which I think is a pretty apt description. The first two songs, New Boy and the album's namesake, Nothing Clever, Just Feelings, I've written here, don't necessarily make for easy listening. It's kind of heavy, stuttering industrial electronics coupled with what I've described as almost kind of like staccato vocals. There's a real swagger to the vocals, which I wasn't fully on board with, to be honest. I much preferred them live, to be honest. I really, really enjoyed seeing them live. And since then, I've went back to listen to this album, and yeah, it's definitely grown on me.
So I listened to the first album. I wasn't fully on board with it at the time. I do love the song "Speak to My" from that album. It's fucking excellent. And around the time that came out, I saw them play Bad Pond Festival, which was an online festival because it was still during COVID, and yeah, they were absolutely electrifying. So I can't imagine what it would have been like to actually be in the room seeing them rather than just on a live stream. But as far as this album goes, I think it's great. I think it sounds like The Kills. I think it sounds like Death from Above 1979.
Yeah.
And the Yeah Yeah Yeahs all rolled into one. But I think they make that out of their own, and it's anything but derivative.
Pastiche.
Exactly. It doesn't sound like any one of those bands. I'm just trying to say it's like a fusion of them all, but it sounds very much like its own thing. And it's been so long since I first listened to this, I don't really know whether it was a slow burn or whether it was immediate for me. I honestly can't remember, but
yeah.
At this point, I think it's a fantastic album. Just like, I mean, the first track's got these disjointed electronics, the antagonistic vocals, the pounding chorus has got like a Death from Above, like an early Death from Above bass line through some sort of static filter. There's like a heavy as fuck hardcore beatdown section in the last minute of the song. It's a proper like statement of intent for an opening track. And then like the next track brings in this like pounding clubland beat.
Yeah, there's definitely a dancey element to it.
Yeah, and then it mixes that with like jabbing guitar licks and throbbing distortion. The vocals really draw you in, like really. The vocals are really stunning in my opinion. Like, I haven't written down tons of lines or lyrics from this album, although I could have and probably should have. But on this song I've written down I'm learning to manage my distractions, I'm getting better at talking less shit. Which at times borders, I've said here, borders on sounding like Annie Lennox on occasion. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I was thinking when I wrote this down, but I don't know. We'll go with it for now. And then there's another sort of beatdown section at the end of that song, which is a bit more groovy than the sort of punishing end to the previous track. And there's, like a lot of these other albums we've talked about, there's loads of variety. Because the third track, I'm going to call it New Metal Gaze, because it's like...
It's got a floaty, ethereal soundscape to it.
Yeah, but then it's also got like a new metal bounce to it at one point. I've again mentioned Evanescence and their song Bring Me to Life. It's got like a sort of rousing intro, then bursts into this riff heavy chorus, and yeah, it's like an evil industrial version of Bring Me to Life. I'd say there's some similarities with the likes of Brutus, who have that kind of black gaze kind of aesthetic, and that Mrs. Piss album that we covered way back as well.
Fuck aye.
And that sort of new metal bounce in that guitar riff that's in there. Definitely one of the best songs on the album for me.
Aye. It's funny you mention Evanescence and Annie Lennox, because similar to what you were kind of saying about the other albums, there's loads of stuff in here. I mean, I've picked out like M83 and one of the songs towards the end of the album. Fourth song, Desire, one on one. I've said that it kind of opens with some pretty kind of menacing electronics. There's the return of those staccato, unnerving vocals that feel confrontational throughout, I think.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Then around the kind of 1 minute mark, it takes on a bit more of a kind of psychobilly vibe with a kind of chugging guitar riff and a kind of rollicking drum beat. But like further down, I can't remember which track it is, but I've said that the song, for whatever reason, just kind of reminded me of Tina Turner's Nutbush City Limits. I don't know what it was.
Okay.
I don't know if it was like the kind of drum beat or what it was about it, but I was like, what does this remind me of? And I spent fucking ages racking my brains, and that's what I came up with.
I think some of it's probably just got to do with strong female vocals, because
Totally.
You're talking about Annie Lennox, one of the most
Evanescence.
identifiable vocalists. Evanescence, huge vocals. Tina Turner, obviously huge vocals.
Aye, fuck, the name's just popped out my head. The Australian punk band that we covered before. With
Ammo and the Sniffers.
No,
That one.
There's elements of that in here as well.
Yeah. I think with Ammo and the Sniffers, it's probably that sort of, like you're saying, that's kind of antagonistic. Yeah. The Desire 1-on-1 song, like, I thought it was a bit like a sort of, there's a drum beat in there. I just thought it was a bit like a sort of demented jump rope song. Like, you imagine like goth kids in a schoolyard, like, jumping rope. Like, I know it's not really what we call it in this country, but on the skipping rope, it just had that beat to it. And there was a meme going about, I don't know if you saw it, the Matilda musical that came out, I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's like a meme of like playing metal music over it
when they're running through the school and jumping down. Yeah,
I think this song would just work so well with that. Maybe I'll try and do that and see how it comes out.
That'd be quite good.
But I think that would work amazing, and it's a great song. I think that sort of demented, sort of maniacal beat and chaos to the song is so good. Yeah, there's all these songs are great. I mean, MUTM. This reminds me so much of the Kills. Like, it's got a danceable beat, jagged guitar, buzzing electronics, and it just takes me back to rinsing Kills albums like Keep on Your Mean Side and Midnight Boom. It's a big part of my early 20s. And it's super weird and super catchy, and it's got an absolutely brilliant, like, clubby kind of instrumental section that would be a proper floor filler, like, really would.
What other kind of songs kind of stuck out for you then, Sneds?
I mean, they're all pretty good. I like Daily Affirmations. I think it's got a really great drum beat. You can just get sucked in by that drum beat regardless of anything else that's happening on that track. And there's some really good sort of Rage Against the Machine-esque guitar moments on there, and like a sort of trance. Like, the vocals are delivered like she's in a trance at that point as well, which is really good.
Aye. Because I think, from a kind of lyrical point of view, I can't remember which song it is. It's kind of like in the first opening tracks, I think. It talks about kind of paying for counselling or therapy or something like that.
By selling a guitar pedal, I think. It's like it's sold a pedal for therapy or something like that.
And like Daily Affirmations kind of put me in mind of that, and it's like these kind of positive affirmations that are often used within kind of mental health and psychiatry and stuff like that. And I thought it was quite interesting. Like, it's all about kind of like, daily affirmations about making you feel good about yourself. And one of the lyrics that I've kind of picked out is, "I'm better than you, I'm better than everybody," which is almost like the kind of reverse of what kind of positive affirmations are about. But yeah, it's good, man. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot of bravado in there
totally.
to be found. I'm a bit. I kind of wish I'd sort of delved into that a bit more and kind of pulled some of those lyrics out, because there's I think there's a lot in there to unpack. That's for sure. All these songs are good. I think I've mentioned my kind of favourite tracks as being, I See My Body Through You and Desire 1-on-1 and MUTM. That kind of 3-track run is really, really great. And then, anything that sounds a bit like The Kills is good for me, like Cake for the Women, that sounds a bit like Kills. The Kills, it's got a nice scuzzy chorus, in-your-face vocals. Probably the heaviest section of any song on the album is the end of that song. Really, 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 really powerful. Where she's just shouting Cake for the Women. And I think I mentioned kind of like on track 10, Easier Than This, I've kind of mentioned Pumarosa. I think that, again, that's just looking at these strong female vocals. There's a bit more Rage Against the Machine elements on the end of that song as well. I quite like how a lot of these songs end up with just these sort of go full throttle right at the end of the song as well.
Yeah. What did you give it?
So I've given this a 9 out of 10 as well. I think it's really great. I mean, there's just so much cool shit on here. I didn't even mention that there's elements of the Gossip and Beth Ditto, I would say, as well in there. That's a big one, actually.
It's funny because I never got that the first time I listened to it. Like I said, I didn't immediately warm to it, but after seeing them live, seeing them perform live, I was bowled over. Like, I was actually quite surprised at how much I enjoyed the live experience. So it made me want to go back and listen to them, and kind of upon, kind of further listening, yeah, I definitely got that kind of Gossip feel.
Yeah. Strange how that kind of seeing a band live can change your perception of an album, like from not really being that bothered by it to sort of, really quite enjoying it.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Gravel were amazing, really, really good. But I would almost be leaning more to say that I preferred Clip Drop to Gravel that night.
Yeah,
just that night.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it was just because it was unexpected. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that I was going to enjoy Gravel. Obviously, I knew that I was going to enjoy Man and Man. So yeah, it was quite unexpected. I can't remember the lead singer's name, but she totally owns the stage, you know what I mean, and is a brilliant performer. Just kind of drew everybody in, so I'd be keen to see them again. And I think to get the best out of it would have to be in, a similar sort of venue, just small, sweaty as fuck, dark, damp, and
when I saw that lineup, I was absolutely gutted. Like,
you were getting.
But I think I was. Yeah, exactly. So I can't really
swings.
Can't be that gutted. Yeah. So, what score have you given it?
I've given it a 7, but I would maybe have to go back and review that.
I think the more times you listen to this,
I think I need to take a bit of a deeper dive into.
I was listening to it again on my lunch break today. I just fucking love it. There's a band, an Irish band. Don't ask me if it's Irish or Northern Irish, but they're a band called Male, which is MHAOL with the H in brackets, but I think it's pronounced Male, and they've got a kind of similar. They're not exactly the same, but they've got a similar kind of, a similarly antagonistic female vocalist with like a band around her that just make a shit ton of noise. So they're worth checking out as well. But yeah, so that was Nothing Clever, Just Feelings by Clip Drip.
I'm better than this, I'm better than you, I'm better than everybody.
It's not finished. It's finished.